we're going to learn how to create different MIDI clips inside MIDI tracks, and we're also going to learn how to create our own workflow within Session View and then record it in real time in Arrangement View later. But for now, let's go ahead and click on one of our MIDI tracks. We're going to double click on one of these clip slots, and that's going to create a clip for us. And you can see in the MIDI note editor, this screen appears right here. And what we're going to do next is, if I hit play on the clip, you can see that the play ahead is scrolling, and this is just one bar right here. If I wanted to obviously hear an instrument or something, this isn't going to play anything. We have to load a preset in order to hear an instrument. So let's go ahead and use one of the presets that Ableton offers us. So if I hit the instrument folder, let's choose simpler, and we'll click the arrow so this drops down. And I can click on one of these pre-made instruments that these Ableton engineers were so kind to offer us. Let me click on piano and keys. So if I wanted to load a preset, I can either click and drag it onto the track, or I can just double click on it as long as the track I want to load it on is highlighted. So let me double click, there it is. You can see it show up down here in the device bar at the bottom. And if I double click on the clip again, you can see here it is. Here is my MIDI note editor. And I can easily tab back and forth between both views by holding Shift and hitting Tab, or going down here in the bottom right of the screen and clicking back and forth. Now there's several ways to create notes within a clip. You can record it in real time, which I'll show you in a second, or you can just go down to your MIDI view and double click and create a note. And if you move your cursor to the end of the note, you can drag it out, make it longer, shorter. If I want to create a bunch of notes without having to click like a million times, then I'll go up to the top right corner of the screen and use my pencil tool. And if I hit this guy, I can click and drag a bunch at once. And the shortcut for that is Command B. And I just remember it by Bensel. It's like a really cheesy joke that my Ableton instructor taught me, and I'm just going to pass it on forever. So Command B, Bensel, German engineering, Ableton, it makes sense to me. So let's go back up here, and let's go ahead and start recording in real time. Now, one great thing about Ableton is you can use your keyboard as a MIDI controller, so you don't have to drag all of your equipment to Starbucks if you want to create some music while getting your coffee fix in the morning. In order to turn my laptop keyboard into a MIDI controller, you go up here and make sure this guy is activated. This is your keyboard MIDI button. So if I turn it off and I'm hitting my keys right now, nothing happens. If I turn it on, you can see I'm getting a signal. Now, make sure your ARM session recording button is on for each track that you want to hear or have an input signal coming into. So if I turn off my ARM button on the track that we have the preset loaded and I'm hitting my keyboard, nothing's going to happen. So make sure this guy's on if you want to have a signal coming into this track for any instrument. One thing that makes Ableton really special is its ability to quantize very simply. So if I turn on my metronome and I wanted to record something within this clip on my laptop keyboard, I'm going to go to this button, which is the session record button. And once I click this, it's going to start counting me in, and it's going to count in as many bars that I have set by right-clicking the metronome. You can see count in none, 1 bar, 2 bar, and up to 4 bars. So I have 2 bars set. I'm going to hit this button, and then it'll allow me to record within this clip on this track that the ARM button is on, and I have the clip selected. So let's give it a try. And so as you can probably already tell, my timing is a little bit off. There's several ways I can quickly change this. I can highlight all these notes, and I can right click on any given note or all of them since they're all highlighted, and I can go to my quantize settings, and by choosing this I can change the quantization to whatever I want the note to be. So if I go to, let's go to 16th notes. If I do 16th notes and I hit OK, then you can see it snapped it in to the 16th note grid. Now you can see the background of the grid changed as well to be the timing that I wanted to quantize. If I right click in the gray area, I can also change the background to quarter notes or eighth notes, and you can see how it's changed here. Now, just by changing the grid is not going to change the timing of the notes. It's just changing the display within this bar in the background. I can also go to the quantization menu up here and choose Edit and Record Quantization. And I can have the timing of when I'm recording the actual notes snap it in for me so I don't have to go and change it after I'm finished recording. So for example, I'm going to change this to 16th note quantization. I'm going to delete all the notes I already had. I'm going to play something else, and it's going to snap everything into a 16th note timing for me. So let's try recording again. So yeah, it's kind of a cheesy melody, but you get the point. So this is all snapped into 16, and if I go into 16, you can see it's all snapped in. I can also highlight any notes I want and snap it into the grid as it's selected. So if I change the background grid to triplets, I can grab this and change this and drag it into a triplet feel. Now say I want to go up or down an octave. I can simply hit Z or X, X to go up an octave, Z to go down an octave on my keyboard. You can see that it's highlighted over here in red. So let me go ahead and record over top of what I've already recorded. And the nice thing is I don't have to continue to keep drawing in notes. I can just keep recording on top of things I've already created. So if I go up here to the top, I can hit the session record button again, and it's not going to erase what I've already done within this clip that I have selected. It's just going to add to it. And there's one more way that we can record and create a new clip. You see these circles over here on this track that we created. If you go to the bottom and we turn off the arm button, they'll go back to squares. And if I click any one of these squares, the clip that is activated to play just by hitting the space bar is going to be deactivated. So it's kind of a quick stop button, if you want to think of it that way, to only stop clips within this track. And if I arm the track and I want to create a new clip, all I have to do is simply hit one of these circles and it's going to start counting me in to record. So I can record something else. And I double click on that and we can see we have what we've recorded. So I hope you guys learned a thing or two. We're going to dive in the next couple of videos how to set up a song by just coming up with creative ideas in session view and then record them into arrangement view.